Welcome back to the Pick and Roll podcast.
Obviously, we keep taking breaks in between episodes, but
Yeah.
hopefully we can get a schedule going at some point. Season's over.
Yep.
I was ready for it. I wanted it to be over. Raptors, congratulations. My bold prediction was not correct. I said the Celtics would win it all, but I was correct in the way that I said that the Warriors would not win it.
What was mine?
I don't know. Today we're going to do an NBA mock draft as the draft is tomorrow. This episode might be coming out the day of, might be coming out Wednesday night. We're not sure yet. Depends how long it takes to edit. But first, we need to talk about the big news that's happened after the season's been over.
Anthony Davis traded to the Lakers.
Is a Laker. Who wins the trade?
If Anthony Davis resigns, gets the extension, I think it's a win-win.
On the surface, to me, it looks like the Pelicans win the trade. With the addition of Zion, obviously, because it fits their timeline. They get another pick, which they said they kind of want to trade, which...
It would make sense if they want to move up a spot.
No, they don't want it. They were looking to move it for Bradley Beal.
Wouldn't be awful.
I saw also another trade. They would send the number 4 pick to the Bulls for Chris Dunn and the 7th pick. Is Chris Dunn worth that much value?
Definitely not. No.
But I think they should take a pick, and we'll get into who we think they should pick later. But
yeah.
I think the Pelicans win the trade. Lonzo, those of you, if you've been living under a rock, the trade was the Lakers get Anthony Davis and the Pelicans get Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and 3 first-round picks, including the number 4 pick this year. I think the Pelicans win the trade but then once we get into the hypothetical, the ifs, if Anthony Davis resigns, if the Lakers win a title with Anthony Davis, then the Lakers win.
But if Anthony Davis does not resign or does not extend, then the Pelicans easily win.
Yeah, that's kind of the scenario for every trade. Yeah. But if I had to pick a team right now, I think the Pelicans win the trade. What do you think? Who do you think Pelicans too?
I would say Pelicans, just because there's that uncertainty with AD.
Yeah.
Most people think he will sign that extension, but you never know how the season's going to go. We thought the Lakers would be in contention for a championship this year because of LeBron, but obviously that didn't turn out the way they expected.
Do you think the Lakers should sign another star or go after role players? I know my opinion. I want to hear yours
first. I saw an Instagram post about this. I think that they're really top heavy right now, so they need some firepower off the bench, in my opinion, to keep them afloat in playoffs. Because the West is too.
I think they should get role players. A JJ Redick would be perfect. Mm-hmm. They need shooters. Resign Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. If they go out and sign another star, let's say they get Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not going to have a lot of money for good role players.
Your bench is awful.
They literally don't have many players on their team right now. So there could be an injury or two, and all of a sudden you're looking like the Warriors this year. They were so top heavy that once KD, Clay are done, it's on the bench, and it just didn't perform when they needed to. And that's what the Lakers could run into if they don't sign role players that can back these guys up.
Yeah.
But if they stay healthy, then it's looking like a great move, and you got 3 superstars. You're the powerhouse of the NBA. Mm-hmm. But you can't ever bank on not getting injured. I hate when injuries happen. I do.
Injuries are just part of basketball.
Part of sports.
Part of any sport.
Next trade happened today. Mike Conley was sent to the Jazz for Grayson Allen, Jay Crowder, Kyle Korver, and 2 first-round picks. The number 21st pick this year or the 20th?
I think 20th.
Well, it was in the 20s. I know that.
Because 21st is OKC.
Okay. Who do you think wins this trade? I think it's the Jazz.
I also think it's the Jazz. I think it doesn't hurt the Grizzlies because they're obviously trying to get rid of Mike Conley, get his contract off the books, and they get picks out of it, which is what they desperately need.
The Jazz don't need picks right now.
And their picks won't be worth anything.
They could be down the road.
They'll be worth something.
I think there was a 2023 included, so by that time they could be either really good or really bad. But so trades happening. There was a trade during the NBA Finals.
Where you go there?
There was a trade during the NBA Finals. It was I don't remember. I didn't know that was allowed.
I didn't think you'd do that. I thought you had to wait till July or something.
Well, no, you wouldn't have to
For
wait till July.
finalize.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. But, like, make trades.
You make trades.
There was a trade. I forgot what it was. That's going to drive me crazy.
There's a second round pick trade.
No, there's players.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That'll drive me crazy. Okay. Well, we're going to get into the meat of the podcast today. We're going to do a mock draft.
Yep.
I'm going to be picking every odd team, so 1, 3, 5, etc. He's got 2, 4, 6, etc.
Every even team.
So, what?
I have every even team.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you have the odds.
Yeah. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Just specify.
do you just want to go right into it, or do we
Let's
want
do
to?
it.
Okay. Put that right there so I can see it.
Okay.
Number 1 pick,
The
obviously the
Pelicans
Pelicans. I'm David Griffin in this situation. This is I'm kidding. It's going to be Zion Williamson out of Duke. This is obvious. We know Zion. I don't need to talk about him. Do you think he'll be an all-star this year? That's my question. Right off the bat.
It's
all-star.
hard for a rookie to be an all-star, but
It is.
if there is,
But
gonna
it's
be a-
possible.
If there is going to be a rookie, I think it could be
I
Zion.
think Zion could do it. Okay, you
So
got.
wrapped up.
You will be the GM of the Grizzlies for this
All
pick.
right,
They have the number 2 pick.
Memphis Grizzlies select Ja Morant, which one of my favorite players in this draft. If Zion wasn't in this draft class, then Ja would easily be my first pick.
Yeah. Is he ready for the NBA style? Because he's played in a weaker conference. Really hasn't played
But he
strong
showed
opponents.
that he could play against
In the
tougher
tournament,
opponents in the tournament when he knocked off Marcus Howard and Marquette.
Triple double.
With a triple-double.
16. I think
Insane.
it was 17, 16, and 11.
Yeah.
I saw today, he's just trying to prove the haters wrong. He said his first hater was his dad, and he started. Do you know how the Murray State scout found out about him? I saw this on
It was-
E60 yesterday.
He was going to the game for another high school kid.
It was like a high school
Yeah,
showcase,
high school
and they
showcase.
called about half the kids into the main gym, half the kids in the aux gym. Obviously, the main gym had the better players.
Yeah.
Ja gets
Ja was in
selected to
second
the
gym.
aux gym, so there's really nobody watching. It's kind of just like parents. This scout gets hungry, goes to the concession stand, hears balls dribbling in the aux gym. He goes to check it out. He sees Ja Morant, and he is blown away by his skill set. And he gets on the phone right away with Murray State's head coach and says, "You need to get down here and watch this kid." So they fly down there and they fall in love. He signs there. Rest is history. And he's going to be a number 2 pick in the NBA draft.
Second pick in the draft.
3rd pick, it's the Knicks. They reportedly yesterday showed serious interest in Darius Garland. Good player. Not the number 3 pick. It's RJ Barrett out of Duke. Duo with Zion. He might be the most complete player in this draft. Because Zion struggles with shooting, but RJ can do it all. Obviously, Zion has the interior defense. Jamal Murray yesterday said he thinks RJ is better than Zion.
Really?
He thinks he's the best player in the draft. So,
Okay. With the 4th pick in the draft, I would say that the Pelicans would want to go after. I'm thinking like a Jarrett Culver, because they could get rid of Drew Holiday, clear up some cap, sign someone in free agency, and a lot of teams could use Drew Holiday. Like the Thunder, if they had cap, could use Drew Holiday. A lot of different teams just need a shooting guard.
yeah, Lakers.
Lakers could have one. I don't think
that-
they'd do that.
They don't have
because they're
enough.
trying to sign a bigger
They don't have enough pieces to do.
Yeah.
But Jarrett Culver to me could be the sneakiest pick of the draft.
Yeah, I like him.
He's gotten a lot of attention. He's getting overshadowed by the top 3, obviously. This kid can play. He can play on both ends. He has a great playmaking ability for a forward. And I don't know. Do you have a comp for him?
Oh man,
I would.
it's tough. Who's a shifty shooting guard in the league right now? They can just ball out.
I could see a Jimmy Butler maybe.
I
think he has a better. Does he have better shooting? Because Jimmy's more of a mid-range, attack the basket. He can still shoot the
Yeah.
3, but I could see a Jimmy
I
Butler.
would say like a
Can play on both ends. Jimmy can do that.
Victor Oladipo maybe.
Yeah, I could see it. I think Culver has more size.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's ready for the NBA too. With the 5th pick, Cleveland. I think the best available player at this point is Darius Garland.
Yeah.
They have Colin Sexton,
That's a good pick.
but I'm not taking Darius Garland. because they have Colin Sexton.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to be taking DeAndre Hunter out of Virginia. Similar player to Jarrett Culver.
It's a good pick.
He's a 3-and-D guy. I think he's a safe pick.
He's getting overshadowed by those
Yeah, same,
risky,
same thing.
flashy guys.
Yeah, he's not the flashiest pick in the
Yeah.
draft, I'll tell you that much, but he can play defense and he can knock down a 3 ball.
I would say he's the equivalent of drafting an offensive lineman in the NFL draft. Like,
Yeah.
good pick, safe. No one's gonna judge you for it.
Yeah. Who do you got for Phoenix?
Phoenix, they have shooting guard, obviously Devin Booker. They have the center. They got DeAndre Ayton. I think they have to take Darius Garland. I think that's a great pick
It's
for
a
him.
perfect pick. If it's there, it's a perfect pick.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. If I was the Pelicans, I'd be taking Darius Garland.
Maybe.
He's that good. But they also have Lonzo Ball. But that pairing, Darius come off the bench to start his NBA career. The Pelicans might flip Lonzo.
I don't know how LeVar would feel about that. It's not to him, though.
Didn't play much in college. Got hurt. But he was an absolute dog in high school. Just 8 defenses up. My comp for him is Damian Lillard.
I like it.
He's a guy that can shoot the 3.
Just the drive.
Kind of undersized, but has the handles, has the
He
playmaking.
has that motor to keep on going, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
7th, Chicago.
Bulls taking.
A lot of mock drafts have Kobe White going here. I'll tell you why
see.
I'm not going Kobe White. I think he's getting a little too overhyped. I don't think he's proven himself
Yeah,
yet.
I agree.
He kind of came out of nowhere, kind of like Ja Morant, but I think Ja proved himself more. I don't know. I think the Bulls should take Cam Reddish.
It's a good pick.
He never got to show his true ability in college, by being overshadowed by RJ and Zion. I really wish he didn't go to Duke.
Would you have him come off the bench?
Well, as a starter. I mean, most
Because we're
rookies
being-
do come off the bench
Yeah.
unless they're Zion or RJ or Ja. Cam, I'm rooting for him. He's my favorite player at Duke last year. I want him to do what he did in high school as a part of the Chicago Bulls.
Number 8, we got Atlanta. Where am I thinking Atlanta goes? I think they don't need a point guard. They don't need Kobe White. I'm thinking they go with an interesting pick, and I think they're gonna go with Rui Hachimura.
It's a good pick. Like
Small
Gonzaga, he's a big small forward, undersized power forward. What do you think about Rui? What do you like about him?
He just showed he could get things done in the tournament, March Madness. They got all the way into the. Did they get in the Final Four?
Who? Gonzaga? I don't think
Or
so.
they get in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I think they got a lead.
Got bounced in the Elite Eight. He showed he can carry a little bit. They were a number 1 seed, but they weren't. In my opinion, they weren't the most proven number 1 seed.
Well, they never are because they're a mid-major. They're in the Horizon. No, they're not in the Horizon. What are they in? Big West, maybe.
Yeah, so just not the most proven 1 seed. Like Duke was a good 1 seed, North Carolina, the obvious 1 seeds. They just had to prove themselves, and Rui brought them there.
I'm going to be the GM of Washington here. I think Washington is in a tough spot. They need to choose a direction. They really haven't
Are
done
they
that yet.
tanking, or are they going for the playoffs?
Yeah, and I think they should trade Bradley Beal. I think it's time for them to move on, and John Wall. I think they need to blow it up, and they need to start by drafting a guy with, I think potential. They could go with Sekou Doumbouya. Do you know how to say it?
Sekou Doumbouya.
Doumbouya. Okay, Doumbouya. We'll do you know that for a fact, or you just?
That's a guess.
That's a guess. I like that guess. That's a risky pick, though.
Yeah.
So I think they need to go with a guy with a lot of potential. Romeo Langford. Might be a reach, but
I can see it.
I've loved his game since high school. He can play. Went to Indiana State home. This kid can play basketball, and I think he'd be a good starting point for the Wizards. But they need to trade Beal, and at least Beal, because he's a shooting guard. They need to trade one of the guards. You're back to Atlanta.
Back to
This
Atlanta.
pick is from Dallas and the Trae Young, Luka Doncic.
So they got the point guard of the future. They got Trae Young.
And you have
They
him
got
taking Rui
they got the
Hachimura.
small forward they need. They need a player that honestly, I think Sekou Doumbouya could play some good power forward minutes for them. Actually, no, they have John Collins. Never mind. Bold pick. I think Bol goes here.
I mean, I don't think he goes there, but I think
I think that's what they need.
a lot of mock drafts have Jackson Hayes go in there, the top ranked center in the draft.
I'm not a big fan of Jackson. I think Bol is the better center.
These guys are complete opposites.
Yeah.
Bol is the definition of the modern center. Can
That's why I
stretch
don't
out,
think they
shoot
need
the
Jackson
three.
Hayes.
He can rim protect, but he could be a lot better with his height.
The Atlanta Hawks are the best pace and space team in the league. Or they do it the most, and I think Bol just fits.
They led
that.
the league in pace.
Yeah, they led the team in pace.
I don't know if they spaced it very well.
Yeah, they didn't space it. They paced it well, and they could space it well if they had Bol.
Okay.
Shot pretty well from the 3-point line.
Now I'm gonna be the GM of Minnesota here. Minnesota, you need a point guard.
You really do.
You need a facilitator, and he's been sliding forever now.
Yep.
And it's Kobe White.
Take him.
I don't like Kobe White, but at 11 I do.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, it makes good sense.
UNC came out of nowhere. Can he lead a team like Minnesota, though? They need a leader on that team. Because
They did, yeah.
Jimmy tried it. No one listened. He's out. Who leads? Does Cat step up this year? They need a point guard that will do that. And maybe Kobe White's that guy.
You think Derrick Rose walks?
I don't think he'll be back in Minnesota. He'll be somewhere else.
I can see it. You can get good money somewhere else. For Charlotte. So this is how they do. What do you think they do with Kemba? Do you think they lose him in the offseason? I don't think they do. I think Charlotte keeps the point guard, and then they take. I think they take Sekou.
Yeah,
I think that's a good pick for him.
Yeah, out of France. So, my comp for this dude, Pascal Siakam.
I can see it.
He has a better shooting
Form
ability
player.
than Pascal, but he has the potential. And this could be, I mean, not really the same, but a potential Michael Porter Jr. pick. A guy that a lot of teams don't really know about, that kind of is he's an uncertain pick, risky pick, and he's still a lottery pick. I think he could be really good in the NBA someday.
I like to take.
Now I'm going to have Miami at 13. Miami at 13.
Miami's one of those buffer teams.
I'm going to draft Nasir Little out of North Carolina. This dude has the frame for the NBA. He has the athleticism. He was a top 7 pick for sure before college. And then he just struggled.
Yeah.
And he came off the bench and just never lived up to the expectations that were put on him. And he's a guy like Cam Reddish that I think had to take a back seat. Nasir having to take it to Cameron Johnson and Kobe White. And so he's a similar player to Cam Reddish. I think he could still make waves with his basketball skills. So I'm going to take him for the Heat at 13.
14, we got Boston.
This is interesting.
They couldn't trade this pick, but they were drafting all of these. I think that they need another point guard. They need another point guard because Kyrie is leaving. And not a lot of point guards left on the board. But I think, we could go Keldon Johnson for this pick. I think that's a good one.
Where did he go to college?
I don't know.
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
He is one of my surprise draft players. He was a top 10 pick all throughout the year. I don't know what happened. He has slid mightily to the 20s in mock drafts. I'm going to give him a Chris Paul comp. I was going to take him for the Timberwolves. I thought it was a little bit too early. I was going to try and let him slide a little bit, but you're going to go with Boston.
I don't know. Point guard of the future. Keldon Johnson could be that guy.
Terry Rozier's still there.
Terry Rozier showed he could carry a team when Kyrie wasn't there.
And Kyrie won't be there.
But this season, he did not.
Because Kyrie was there.
That's fair.
I don't think you can fault him. I think he still has it in him.
Yeah.
But I think you could take a point guard this draft as a backup in case he does not perform like he did. But, I don't. This is not an important pick for Boston. They have a surplus of young guys that they've drafted well. It'll be interesting to see where they go. Al Horford's looking like he's going to leave too.
Yeah.
So maybe a center would have been the better pick.
That's right. Yeah.
Jackson
Hayes kind of.
But
it's the Al Horford build.
Detroit 15. This is interesting. This is really interesting. I'm gonna take Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Good pick.
Out of Virginia Tech. They need a shooting guard. They got the front court, and there's a lot of front court guys available here, but they need a scorer, just a scorer.
Yeah.
Because Blake Griffin, he can score, but that's not his main focus, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid can score, and he showed it at VTech. I think he'd be a great fit for the Pistons at 15. What do you got for Orlando at 16?
Orlando, I think they need some defense, and I think Matisse Thybulle brings that defense.
Yeah, I think they locked down the second half of the year.
Yeah.
And that's why they made the playoffs. So if they went,
they gotta continue that
showed that, hey, if we play defense, success.
Keep that mentality kind of.
So they're gonna bring in Matisse Thybulle. I like the pick.
Yep.
He can do it all. He can block shots. He can get steals coming out of Washington.
Yep.
I got Brooklyn at 17. Brooklyn. Do you think they keep D'Angelo with Kyrie coming?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think they do. I think he's going to go to the Indiana Pacers. We'll get to the free agency special next episode where we make a lot of predictions. But Brooklyn, they need P.J. Washington out of Kentucky, an athletic power forward, play alongside Jared Allen. That'll be an athletic front court.
I like the pick.
This could be Lob City 2.0. Kyrie at point. You got Jared Allen. I keep wanting to say Culver. And if you had P.J. Washington and if he performed like he did in college, watch out. Brooklyn could be a threat in the East next year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take P.J. there.
Indiana.
Speaking of Indiana
at the
Pacers.
18th pick. Indiana, they have Victor Oladipo. They got Miles Turner. They don't need a center. I think maybe a backup center, actually. So maybe they do take a center.
They have Sabonis.
Oh, yeah, they do have Sabonis. He can play some power forward minutes. But you know what? We're going to go with KZ. Oh, wait, no. We're going to go with Chuma Okeke.
Coming off a torn ACL in the
Yeah.
NCAA tournament, so I don't know if he'll be 100% healthy by the time of the year starts.
It's fine. They don't need him. Their playoff team without him.
Bojan could be leaving. He's a free agent.
They can take some risks.
So this could be
small forward.
This could be his replacement. He was good before he tore his ACL, and it proved because Auburn was on a run. They were on a mission, and then he went down. Next, we got San Antonio at 19. San Antonio could use a big.
Yep.
I think Jackson Hayes' fell long enough.
Yeah.
Perfect side by side with LaMarcus Aldridge because they don't need him to stretch the floor because LaMarcus can do all that. So Jackson Hayes, the rim protection. Hopefully he can develop some ball handling and 3-point shooting skills at some point in his career. We've seen a lot of centers do it. I won't be surprised if with San Antonio in the system, he could do it.
All right, we got Boston again
at 20.
And they don't need a shooting guard because we already drafted them one.
We drafted them a point guard.
Oh, yeah, we drafted them a point guard. They don't need a shooting guard, though. I think they go... Interesting pick. I think they go... Bruno Fernando. Take a center.
Bruno Fernando. Maybe a little bit of a reach. Not much. He'll be late 20s, 30s probably in my eyes.
He looked good this season.
Yeah, I think he's not... I don't think he's ready. I think he could have waited. I think he could have gone one more year at Maryland. But
he was ready though. I think
I don't think
he thinks he was ready.
Well, yeah, everyone who goes in thinks they're ready. I don't think he is,
Yeah.
but Boston, Brad Stevens, good coaching staff. They could train him right up. What you got next?
Draft
I
well.
got your Thunder.
Draft well.
I'm gonna give you.
There's a man on the board.
I know. I looked right at him right when you said it.
Draft well.
You need shooting. You do, and I'm gonna give you the next Klay Thompson, Tyler Hero.
Let's go.
Probably not the next Klay Thompson.
That's what I want.
Tell you.
I don't think we'll get him. I think he'll fall earlier, but I really hope we do. I love his game. Out of Kentucky.
He's a good player, but
Great
he's
player.
kind of like Kobe White. Has he proven himself yet? He had a good stretch run in the tournament. Shooters don't. I mean, there's a change. Obviously, it's the farther shot, but shooters usually can stay relevant for the most part. They just need the opportunity, and I think he could get that on the Thunder. 22, you have Boston again.
Boston with another pick. And, okay, so we got them a center. We got them a point guard. And I think we got to get them... I think we go Cap and Gelly out of Florida State.
Cabangeli.
I think that's a good pick. Run some power forward minutes.
Tall, lanky guy. I could see it.
Power forward.
He's not a flashy pick either, but he'll get the job done. Utah 23. That pick now belongs to Memphis.
Oh, yeah?
So,
Who's
Memphis.
taking alongside Ja.
I'm going to draft Goga Batazzi.
Ooh.
I don't know exactly what country he's from. Jaren Jackson Jr. can play power forward minutes. They don't have Marcus Gasol anymore. I think Goga would be a good fit with the Memphis Grizzlies, and I'm going to take him at 23.
It's a good pick.
You got Philly at 24.
24, the Philadelphia Sixers. It really depends on what their plan is for free agency, what they want to do with this pick. Ben Simmons obviously staying, Joel's obviously staying, so it's going to either be a shooting guard, small forward, power forward, in my opinion. And I think they go KZ Okapala with this pick. Because Jimmy Butler is not very certain, and he does play some shooting guard minutes for them, but mainly it's a small forward. But yeah, I think.
Portland 25. I think in this scenario, they just kind of have to take the best available. What do you think of Portland? Let's get off the draft here for a little bit. Did they blow it up?
They showed good promise last year.
See, they're kind of in a position like the Rockets. Like, they could trade some guys because they obviously weren't to the level of the Warriors.
Yeah.
The Warriors are down. They're not going to be the Warriors this year. No Clay, no KD, no Clay until about March probably, which they get a 6 seed or a 5 seed, and all of a sudden Clay's back for the playoffs, and a team that just had 54 wins gets bounced first round.
That's it.
That would be a real burner for the Nuggets or the Thunder.
Yeah.
But Portland, I think they'll obviously keep it together.
Yeah. I don't
So I'm gonna say I'll give them Kevin Porter Jr. out of USC. He's sliding. Everyone knows that. His draft stock is going to rock bottom. I still believe in him. I still believe in his abilities. I think he can perform at the highest level. So I'm going to take him for Portland at 25.
26, we got Cleveland again.
From Houston. This pick was from Houston.
And you took who with the 5th?
I took DeAndre Hunter.
I
believe.
So let's go. They have Kevin Love. I think they go with. They need a shooter. So, like alongside Kevin Love, they need to get some 3-point shooting going. So let's go Dylan Windler out of Belmont.
Mid-major player.
Yep.
So the microphone's moving. Yeah, he's an interesting pick. He was the leading scorer basically for mid-major players. Even outmatched Rui. It's following again.
Set the 3-point record. Wait, who's that?
That was.
I'm getting my players mixed up.
Whoa, Fletcher McGee out of Wofford.
Not bad.
Dylan can still shoot though.
Dylan's a great 3-point shooter.
Well, I wouldn't call him a great 3-point shooter, but he can shoot.
Good shooter.
27 Brooklyn via Denver. I'm going to give them Cameron Johnson out of UNC.
Good pick.
He could have stayed another year, I think. I might have been a senior, actually. I'm trying to think here. I don't remember, but
Not bad.
good player. I think he'd be a good fit for Brooklyn, as we have 3 picks remaining.
Golden State really depends on free agency once again, just because their team's uncertain for next year. They got KD, they got Clay, they got DeMarcus. They're really only solid pieces that they're keeping, like for sure, is Curry and Draymond. So let's go. They always need a big center. So let's go Naz Reid for them.
Mm-hmm. I like the pick,
Yeah.
but I'm going to like this pick a lot more. San Antonio is going to take 29th overall pick in the
I know
NBA
it's gonna
draft.
be.
Isaiah Roby out of Nebraska, athletic big,
Yep.
small big. He won't be playing center. They needed him to play center. Guy can stretch the floor. He's a lot of potential. Could have stayed one more year at Nebraska. Would have been nice, but
Get the core going.
I'm glad that he chose the NBA, as he's going to take the next step in his career under Pop. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee at 30, last pick of our draft, as my voice.
You know what? Let's go spicy with this pick. You know him. You love him. The 7'7" giant, Taco Fall.
It's going to go to Milwaukee.
Alongside Giannis.
They just traded away
Exactly.
their big giant, Thon Maker. I guess they're
Yeah,
gonna
so
draft
we get
another.
another giant.
Okay, is that it? Is that what you got? Any other surprise players for me that
I just really love
that
Tyler.
maybe we drafted, maybe not?
I love Tyler Hero and I love Bol Bol in this draft. I think whoever gets Bol Bol will be a very great team, or be a great. If they take a chance, he had the same injury that Joel Embiid did, and it didn't infect him as much. So I don't think that'll hurt him as much as it can. We've seen players bounce back from it before. So yeah.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Make sure to like
for
and
our free
subscribe.
agent special.
See you next time.
Ooh, do the dash in the whip, got a 30, I like Curry, I just aim and I switch, make her sing like a birdie, she take